You might have a 1985 quarter sitting in your car cup holder or your junk drawer right now. Most people think it's worthless, just 25 cents, nothing special. But some 1985 quarters have sold for over $1,500. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what separates a common one from a valuable one, and how to check yours in this video. So let's start with the facts. In 1985, the U.S. Mint struck Washington quarters at 3 locations. Philadelphia made more than 770 million pieces. Denver struck 519,962,888 quarters. And San Francisco made a smaller number of proof coins for collector sets, only those never entered circulation. That is over 1.2 billion quarters total. When a coin is made in those kinds of numbers, it's usually common. And in most cases, that's exactly true here. If you find a worn, circulated 1985 quarter in your pocket, it is worth exactly what it says, 25 cents. But here is where it gets interesting. Even though over 1 billion of these were made, something strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint that year. Quality control was not great. Bag marks, those tiny scratches and dings coins get from bumping into each other in mint bags, ended up on almost every coin. So while the mintage number is huge, coins that survived in truly flawless condition are actually rare. According to PCGS CoinFacts, fewer than a couple hundred 1985 P quarters have ever been graded MS-66, and only a handful exist in MS-67, with none graded higher. PCGS itself has called that one of the toughest issues in the entire Washington quarter series, tougher than some of the old silver quarters from decades earlier. Think about that for a second. A coin with over 770 million made, and only a handful survive in top condition. That is the gap between face value and real money. Let's talk numbers. In average circulated condition, both the 1985 P and 1985 D are worth 25 cents. In uncirculated mint condition, a 1985 P quarter can be worth $18 or more according to USA Coin Book. But at the very top, MS-67 grade, certified by a professional grading service. A flawless MS-67 example has sold for $1,528, with no errors at all. Just pure, untouched condition. So the lesson here is simple. It is not just about the date. It is about how well the coin survived the last 40 years. Now, condition is not the only thing that adds value. Minting errors do too. A handful of documented 1985 quarter errors exist, and collectors actively hunt for them. One is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't lined up correctly in the press. So part of the design is missing, and there is a blank curved space on the coin. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable it can be. A 50% off-center example can be worth $100 or more. Another is the missing clad layer error, where one side of the coin shows copper instead of the usual silver-colored surface, because a layer of metal failed to bond properly during manufacturing. And then there is the double die error, where the design looks slightly doubled. It's usually visible in the lettering or on Washington's portrait, because the coin die was stamped more than once at a slightly different angle. Combined, documented 1985 quarter errors have pushed values as high as $720 or more, depending on the specific error and how clearly it shows. So here is how you actually check a 1985 quarter at home. First, look for the mint mark. It is the small letter to the right of Washington's ribbon on the front of the coin. A P means Philadelphia. A D means Denver. No mint mark that year on circulation strikes would be unusual, so check carefully. Second, look at the surface under good light. Is it scratch-free? Does it still have that original mint shine, almost like it was never touched? That is a strong sign of high grade. Third, look closely at the edges and the design for anything that looks doubled, shifted, or missing. If something looks off, do not clean. The coin cleaning can actually lower its value. Instead, set it aside and get it looked at by a professional grading service. Here is what makes 1985 quarters genuinely interesting for collectors. It is proof that a coin does not need to be old or rare in mintage to be valuable. Sometimes it is just about what happened during production. A quality control slip, a die that struck twice, a blank that was not centered right. Most 1985 quarters you will ever find are just 25 cents. But every once in a while, one slips through in near perfect condition, or with a genuine mint error, and that is the one worth a second look. So next time you get change back at a store, take 2 seconds and check your quarters. Look at the date, the mint mark, and the condition. You might be holding a piece of pocket change worth $1,500, or you might just have 25 cents. Either way, now you know exactly what to look for. Thanks for watching. Check your coins and let me know what you find.